Mark James and Ollie Murphy, colours of pink and dark blue for Burn Court Boy. And then Kiwi Rush, the dark blue and yellow chevron silks for Paul O'Brien, the colours of Smash GC Racing for trainer Harry Derham. 9 runners in total for the Coral Daily Reward Shaker Novices Hurdle. Starting point away over on the left-hand side of the racecourse, looking from the enclosures. The favourite here is Corkbrenner, up at around about 1.6 to 1, 13 to 8. Buddy Holly second best is a little bigger than 3 to 1, and Cocktail Blur at around 4s. 10 to 1 then for Klimt Madrik, Walk Tall at 11 to 1. 12 to 1 for Kiwi Rush, and Burn Court Boy can be backed at around 16 to 1. And it's 20 to 1 and bigger the other 2 runners. 1:05 is the official start time of the third race on Coral Gold Cup Day. So we are just over 2 minutes away from the off time. It is the Coral Daily Reward Shaker Novices Hurdle that is up next. And the runners just beginning to assemble at the start. Corkbrenner on his way to the start. Taken steadily to post at present. News of a non-runner later on is just coming through. And it's in a 2:15 race. The Jerry Fielden. Liv Conti has been taken out by the Skelton team. So Liv Conti, a non-runner, would have been set to carry top weight in that, but is out. So that reduces that to a field of 8. That's a little way off yet, more than an hour away, as we concentrate our attentions on this Novices Hurdle. And most of the runners have now arrived on the infield close to the start. It's quite a long run before they get to the first, over a quarter mile before they'll get to the first flight. Corkbrenner, one of 2 penalised runners in the race, Cocktail Blur being the other. Cocktail Blur, the grey, got the Best Turned Out award a few moments ago, created a good impression when winning 3 weeks ago. Freddie and Chris Gordon, of course, a week on from that stellar Saturday at Haydock. Got annual Invictus to look forward to in the big race a little later. There are lots of possible improvers, though, in the lineup here. Grand Garçon did show a bit, first him up over hurdles. That was 3.5 weeks ago, might improve for it. Walk Tall is an interesting runner on his hurdling debut. He's one of a trio of hurdling debutantes in the lineup here. He's in the black and maroon colours. And Buddy Holly, the other hurdling debutant, just the one run in a bumper so far for this €110,000 purchase. And he wasn't beaten far at the Punchestown Festival in a big field. He subsequently joined Nicky Henderson and has reportedly schooled well in his build-up to his hurdling debut. He's one from the left, horse number 8, Buddy Holly. Now it looks as though the runners are about to file out onto the racing line on the side of the racecourse. The extended 2.5 mile start as we tick down to the off time of the Coral Daily Reward Shaker Novices Hurdle, just about on the off time of 1:05. So the runners will take a right turn as they come out onto the course before they swing to turn on in and face starter Robbie Supple on top of the rostrum. And we're not far away from a start. And starter Robbie Supple ready for them. They begin to walk in. Gower Spirit, the green and yellow, very much on toes down at the start. She looks keen to get on with it as they approach the starting tapes. 9 of them off. They're dispatched for the Coral Daily Reward Shaker Novices Hurdle, and it is indeed Gower Spirit, green and yellow, one of the first to show up, with Kiwi Rush in the dark blue or black and white racing a close second. Corkbrenner, yellow sleeves and cap, dropping in behind the leading pair. They encounter a left-hand turn before they get to the first of the 10 scheduled flights of hurdles. Cocktail Blur will take that turn in 4th place, the grey, with Buddy Holly, the light blue cap, down at the running rail, and Grand Garçon, the very pale silks, out wider in the hands of Harry Cobden. Racing upsize Brendan Powell, who's aboard Walk Tall, black jacket. And then Klimt Madrik and Kevin Brogan, the grey and purple, and Sean Bowen has dropped Burn Court Boy out in last place as they clear the first. And it's Gower Spirit who leads by a couple of lengths now over Kiwi Rush, tracked by Corkbrenner, Cocktail Blur on the left and Buddy Holly towards the right. And then Walk Tall from Grand Garçon on the extreme left of the group. Klimt Madrik is last but one, and Burn Court Boy racing at the tail. Over the second they go. Gower Spirit shifting a little to her left, but she certainly took it more fluently than Walk Tall, who was a bit clumsy in the back third. Gone through half a mile now, and they're approaching the third. Gower Spirit and Tom Bellamy leading Kiwi Rush and Paul O'Brien. Corkbrenner hops over neatly and nimbly in third, but virtually joined by Buddy Holly. And then the grey Cocktail Blur racing on the near side to Klimt Madrik. Walk Tall with his tongue lolling out in the last group of three, with Grand Garçon and Burn Court Boy, the dark blue and pink silks for Sean Bowen. They prepare to embark upon one complete circuit of the Newbury Hurdles track and the lengthy run to the first of the four flights on the far side. Gower Spirit taking them into the turn, over 2 lengths clear. To Kiwi Rush heading the pursuit, and then Corkbrenner racing in third, with Buddy Holly shading fourth to the grey Cocktail Blur. Klimt Madrik right around the inner of Walk Tall, and that pair is shadowed by Grand Garçon, patiently ridden by Harry Cobden, the mauve and white silks. And Burn Court Boy remains last, but is no more than half a dozen lengths off the pace-setting Gower Spirit. On to flight 4 of the Schedule 10. Gower Spirit over Kiwi Rush. Then Corkbrenner, the dark blue and yellow, to Buddy Holly a half length down in fourth. Followed over that flight by Cocktail Blur, who took it pretty fluently, the grey. And advance of Klimt Madrik, Walk Tall, Grand Garçon, and a couple of lengths away to Burn Court Boy. Moving through the halfway point, and there Buddy Holly rather stepped at the flight. And Gower Spirit continues to push the pace along. A couple of more hurdles to jump over in the back straight. They've reached the midpoint over there. And Gower Spirit has made every inch of the running so far. Kiwi Rush in second has travelled enthusiastically throughout. Corkbrenner settled nicely in third under Ben Jones, racing just in advance of Buddy Holly and the grey Cocktail Blur, who's waited with in midfield. And then Walk Tall, Klimt Madrik down on the inner, Grand Garçon wide, and still Burn Court Boy races in the final position. Last hurdle in the back is 4 out, but it's a very long way from home. And another pretty good lead from the leader there, Gower Spirit. Came up a couple of lengths clear once again over Kiwi Rush and the strong travelling Corkbrenner. Cocktail Blur just edging up into fourth now, ahead of Buddy Holly, who has the rail into the turn. And then Grand Garçon, Walk Tall and Klimt Madrik side by side. And lastly, Burn Court Boy. Completed a circuit. On down the side of the course they come in the Coral Daily Reward Shaker Novices Hurdle. And they're approaching the last 3/4 of a mile. And in truth, there's been very little change in the order. Still Gower Spirit, with Corkbrenner now just about shading second over Kiwi Rush on the inner, and Cocktail Blur a close fourth. 2 lengths to Buddy Holly, and then Grand Garçon, another couple of lengths Klimt Madrik, shadowed into the home turn by Walk Tall, and still Burn Court Boy and the champion jockey at the tail of the field. Into the straight then, on the run down towards the third last. Gower Spirit now taken on by Corkbrenner, who's come there travelling pretty powerfully and noses ahead, but is stalked by both Kiwi Rush in the black and white and the grey Cocktail Blur, who arguably took that more fluently than Corkbrenner. Walk Tall back in the field was a little sluggish. The run down towards the second last, but they still got well over 3 furlongs to gallop. Corkbrenner to Kiwi Rush launching a challenge. Cocktail Blur on the left is shaken up. Klimt Madrik in the grey and purple is closing. So too Buddy Holly, but the ladder is being nudged along. Still 5 with a chance, heading now between the final 2 flights. Corkbrenner tackled hard by Kiwi Rush. Klimt Madrik still closing in behind the leading pair. Then Cocktail Blur, Buddy Holly 1 paced only. Corkbrenner, head bowed low, came up well at the last. Mistake from Kiwi Rush. Klimt Madrik is now chasing Corkbrenner off up the long run in. They've still got a furlong to gallop. Corkbrenner grinding away in front. Klimt Madrik, though, eroding the deficit, edging closer. Corkbrenner is all out. Klimt Madrik is still closing, comes up sides, heads up, heads down. Very little in this. Klimt Madrik just edging out Corkbrenner. Buddy Holly in third and Kiwi Rush in fourth in a thriller.